Alright guys, how you guys doing? This is Low Budget Pokemon with a video. So I've made a video maybe 1 or 2 years ago detailing about how I almost got scammed when I bought a Poncho Pikachu ungraded copy from Japan, right? Figured out that it was, fake. And then here we're going to do a revisit of this kind of issue, right? So here on Mercari, I have a PSA 10 Grunt Skull Pikachu for $17.50. Okay, so this typically for a PSA 10 clean copy will go for over $2K. So this is a great deal. If we go down to see a little bit more about the seller, you can see that it's Level 7 Games LLC, 329 completed sales. Really, verified user, very great, outstanding seller, I guess, on Mercari. Okay, so you go down here, you can see that he has a bunch of these other high elite cards for sale. You got the PSA 10 Kramer. I think that might be a little bit overpriced. 10 Gyarados Pikachu. This is definitely underpriced in the Rayquaza. These are typically over $2,000 cards. Okay, so this Skull Pikachu I've been looking for. This is also typically over a $2,000 card. He has it priced at $17.50. And it just basically says it's a clean PSA 10 price to sell. Okay, it's very interesting because this is the only picture that he provides. He doesn't provide any other. He doesn't provide a picture of the back. It's kind of a weird angle, and it's kind of it looks pretty good. It sparkles, right? And I haven't actually seen this card in person, so I can't really tell if this is a fake or not. But we're gonna go. So you can see here that it is in a PSA 10. The question here is whether this is a fake PSA slab or not. So it's a 7 cert, so it's pretty recent. So did they just, grade this and pump out a fake that quickly? We'll see, right? So here you can see it's 73886854. I have PSA pulled up here, so 73886854 is the cert number. And this is the card, right? So it looks like maybe this is a little bit shadowed and whatever. So one way you can take a look here is we're gonna blow this up a little bit. Okay, it doesn't want to blow up. Let's see here. Okay, so so here's the blown up version of the card. So a couple things you can look at, right? So you can take a look at the font. We're gonna download this really quick. So you can let's see how we're gonna do this. We're gonna take a picture of this. Take a picture of this really quick. Take a picture. Put this right here. And put it next to side by side here. This is the side. This is the blown up version. This is the picture. Okay, so let's take a look at this logo first, okay? So on the right, you have the picture of the Mercari, okay? Right here, this screenshot. You can tell here right away that the font is different, okay? So in the Mercari one, it's a little bit more bold. Up here, it's a little bit less bold. So right off the bat, it's different. It's the same cert number though. If we go look at the barcode, you can see here that it's also different, right? So if you look at this barcode on the real, card on PSA, you can see that it's a skinny line and then a bold line. You can see here it's a skinny line and 2 bold lines, right? And then basically a large space, two skinny lines. You can see here that right away this barcode is different, okay? It's on this listing. So those are 2 things that you got to look at, right? So number 1 is looking at the barcode. I know we can't really read barcodes, but you can at least count to see if the spaces and the lines, the bold lines, if those line up. Second of all is to look at the font, right? Third thing you can look at is basically you can look at like the hollow patterns, right? So a lot of the times we think that the hollow patterns are random, and they are random, but they also prevent fraud, right? Basically prevents people from duplicating the same card. It's very difficult to duplicate the hollow pattern. unless you actually have this card in possession, right? So, and all of this really depends on the lighting, but you can see here that, I don't have a good picture of clip here, but you can see here that it's missing maybe a big, so you can see here in the real picture, in the real card, you have like a big star, this little star right here. You don't really see that here. You do see something here like a small star in this general location. We scroll over here, you don't see that kind of, there's no star here, right? So here you can right away see that the hollow pattern is different. Also, this cluster of stars is different. The pattern is different here, right? So you can right away tell straight away that this card is not a legit, whatever this guy is selling is not a legit copy of the card, right? So you can, I don't know, maybe the PSA case also looks a little bit different, but right away, just by looking at these three things, right? The font, the barcode, and also the card, right? The hollow pattern. You can right away tell that this card is not legit. It's very scary because this is a fairly new cert. I think we're in the 8 million. This is 8 million, 80 million or so. This is only a 7. So this is really new. Okay, so let's take a look at another one. So let's take a look at this Gyarados. Okay, so here you have another PSA 10 Gyarados Pikachu, and it's the same angle, same everything. But right away I know, right? But if you watch my previous video, well, you don't really have to even watch it. You can tell that this color there's something off with this color, okay? I don't have this card, and I've never seen it in person, but I can tell that this color here is off. So let's go ahead and type in this cert number into PSA. So 75511. So let's go over here, 75511, 751. Okay, so 751. Let's see what we get. Close out these other windows. So you can see here that this is indeed the card, okay? I'm going to take a look at this card closer up. Okay, you can see that the background here is a little bit darker, right? It's a little bit darker in color. And we'll take a look at the same thing, right? So you can see here, let's see if we can get a closer up view. Take a picture. Where'd that picture go? Yep, here's the picture. So we're gonna bring this picture over here. Oops. We're gonna check the barcode. So did they do a good job in replicating the barcode? They actually did, right? So you can see here that they got a skinny, they got a bold, a space, maybe 2 skinnies. So it looks like this barcode actually lines up, right? So maybe 3 skinnies from the right, from the left, you got 3 skinnies, a space, two skinnies, a space, and then 3 bold. So you do have that, okay? Maybe maybe from this picture you can't really tell that the font is different. So this may be a little bit bolder than this one. I think you can tell, right? So you can see here that there's a space between the dot, this period, and the Pikachu. This one doesn't have a space. There's no space here. There's no space here, right? So you can tell that it's very, very similar. It's very similar, right? The PSA, you could probably, I don't know if this might be a really close call. The PSA logo might kind of be similar. You can't really tell. But definitely by looking at this really closely, they got the barcode right. In this case, the Gyarados Pikachu, the space between the dot and the Pikachu is different, right? You can tell. Okay, let's go ahead. So they did a better job at replicating this. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the hollow pattern, okay? Right off the bat, you can see here that if this is a hollow, you can see that there's a big mark right here, this star pattern here. You can't miss it, okay? You don't see that in this general location. You have a star pattern, but you don't really see it. It's basically, from here, you can see very clearly that the hollow pattern is very different. You have a big star here. You don't have a big star here, right? There's no, you may see that, okay, that's probably the angle. Well, okay, you can see that there's a big, you can see that there's definitely a hollow pattern here that sticks out. This is very different, right? You don't have that same hollow pattern. Also, like I said, the color's different. So you can straight away, right, tell that this is definitely indeed another fake that this seller is selling on Mercari. So, you know, whether he knows it or not, you know, he's definitely selling a fake, right? So, you know, we get a lot of these, right? So I think Mercari, they've really gone downhill in terms of the number of scammers, you know, people selling fakes on there, things like that. I mean, it's possible that this guy bought this card, knew it was a fake. He may have gotten scammed himself. He's trying to flip it. Let's see what this guy typically sells. He sells games. I don't know. It's maybe look at this deal, right? So PSA 10 Pikachu is not this cheap. Yep. So fake slabs. Okay. So yeah. So this guy knows. But somebody actually got you know, scammed out of this. What does this guy say? Huge difference in the design of a 4 cert compared to an 8 cert. Thank you, Bensty. Okay. So yep. So this guy knows. I mean, these are probably fake. This is such a great deal. This card typically goes for a little bit more, definitely more than this. I don't know. This looks okay. You can also kind of see the watermarks. Anyways, so there's a lot of fakers out there right now. Just be careful of that. Stay safe. And always double check. Right. I mean, a lot of times we're tempted to jump on deals, especially if it's a really good deal. But you gotta check. You gotta check on Mercari. Do your due diligence, and hope for the best. All right. So stay safe and happy hunting.